And here we are, Wednesday night standard.
Wednesday.
We're gonna start it off right with Billy Comminos and young Matthew Minniear.
This is a classic matchup that harkens back to the early days of Magic.
Yeah, those 4th edition vehicles decks.
Well, I was going to say it's an aggro v control matchup.
Oh, okay.
So normally control's role here is to get to the point where they can sweep the board. I don't know if Matt's playing Fumigate, but that'd be the big one.
Fumigate?
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 Wandering Fumigator roll?
All right. Thraben Inspector into Smuggler's Copter is as good as it gets.
Disagree. I like Toolcraft Exemplar into Copter.
I disagree with you.
All right, fantastic. So here we are disagreeing, and here Matthew is with 3 lands, and Billy's on.
And here is Billy Luton.
Rolling up the sleeves.
Potentially. 3-mana open
6
means
cards in hand.
There's likely a removal spell. Billy's got to be wary about running this out there.
I think you just run one of these veteran motorists into the counterspell, perhaps.
So here's what Billy can do. He can play a creature here. And he's done it. You can set up a turn next turn where you activate your Smuggler's Copter and get in there.
Sure.
And then if he has the removal spell, then you just Windmill Slam Gideon.
Oh, right. Oh, it doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter because
Just
we're tapping out. Oh, maybe
oh,
not.
Maybe.
Dovin's calling. Oh, we're stacking the lands.
Yeah.
I hate it when people do that, by the way.
Concur. It definitely obscures the board state.
All right, so let's see if Billy can take advantage of this tapped out state. Doesn't look like it.
He keeps the Thraben Inspector back.
That's interesting.
Billy did not have a 4th land for Gideon, because he definitely would have Windmill Slammed Gideon.
Oh, yeah, Gideon.
Make the guy, crew the copter, get in.
I wonder why he didn't attack with the Thraben Inspector.
It's interesting.
I'm going to have to ask him about that after this match. Land go from Matthew Minniear.
Yep.
Billy still no 4th land for this Gideon, but you wouldn't cast it into an open board anyway.
Alright, so Billy's going to be tapped all the way out here.
All the way out.
Is that a Kithian? No, what is that?
Kithian is not legal.
Right, I hope not. I hope it's not a Kithian.
It's probably not a Kithian. I don't know what card it was.
I'm trying to think of a flip card.
Not a dwarf is what it was.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Could be a... I don't even know what the name of it is. The thing that flips and you get a creature at the end of turn. Captain of the Watch or...
Sure.
That's not the name of it. That's a different card that gives you counters or tokens, but whatever. This Oath of Liliana is pretty strong here.
Yeah, I concur.
Billy with the Triple Mountain Plains land configuration means that he's going to still need another land to hit a Gideon here.
So Matthew chose Oath of Liliana instead of casting this Sorin, which he could have.
So he wants to be able to protect this Sorin a little bit more. And
Right.
being able to playing out the Oath first gives him a zombie when he plays the Sorin.
Sure. So, but he does have a removal spell for 3 here.
All right. So Matthew's in good position here. He gets to untap, play this Sorin,
Kill the motorist.
kill the motorist, make a zombie.
Yep. All the things.
He gets to do all of the things.
The downside is he has 0 cards in hand, or 1 card in hand after all that.
So, man, this is going to be an amazing sequence of plays for Matthew. So we have Sorin here, kill, gain a life, get a zombie. Billy's going to untap. If he draws a land, he can play multiple spells, but you got to imagine this Gideon's coming down.
Right.
And then Matthew's going to get to untap,
Play
play
his
a
own
Gideon,
Gideon.
make a guy,
Get
get
a
a guy,
zombie.
and still activate a Sorin.
Right, in whatever way he sees fit.
It could just be to kill Billy's Gideon.
Right.
Gideon. This is tough for Billy. Makes it 2-2. Soren's still got Gideon in his sights.
Yep.
Oh, the draw was an anguished unmaking.
I still think we get Gideon into the mix here on Matthew's side.
I don't disagree.
So Soren has to go down to 1 to kill Gideon.
You could get real spicy and go Soren up to try and spike Gideon.
Yeah, I don't know what your deck looks like, but I can't imagine there's that many 4s.
Even if it's less than 4, you can burn a removal spell. Oh, there you go. Not redirecting. No respect for this Gideon.
Yeah, he's going to have a Gideon of his own. No big deal.
The reveal was Fumigate, in case you couldn't tell at home. Instant Army.
So our spotter on the floor has corrected us that it's loss of life from Soren.
Oh, okay.
So you can't redirect. But it doesn't matter. But he's coming after Billy's life total on every front. See, we got all kinds of blockers here.
He has another Gideon in hand. This is going to be a big turn.
Do you emblem play a Gideon, make it a guy?
I don't think it's time for that yet.
That way your guys outsize theirs. Interesting.
We're getting frisky, is what we're doing.
There you go. Alright, I like this. Both of them are coming at Soren.
Alright, so he could chump. If he's just planning on plussing Soren a bunch, I don't know why you necessarily need to kill this token, but I guess they're much more expendable because Matthew has the Fumigate in hand.
Mm-hmm. I think Billy's seeing 2 cards he doesn't care about here, a Plains and a Thraben Inspector.
You always care about Thraben Inspector.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And the land is going to help him play multiple spells per turn.
Toolcraft Exemplar.
With no artifacts. which is a good reason to want that Thraben Inspector on top.
Sure. And Billy passes the turn representing Harnessed Lightning. Let's see what Matthew does with multiple Planeswalkers here.
So,
sometimes you get into these situations where there's just so many options.
Sure. I like Fumigating, and then plussing Gideon to kill his Gideon. And then you can just plus Sorin, draw a card.
Sure. He's already played his land for the turn, so that Vence is going to get into play.
I really like killing Gideon here.
Concur.
Otherwise, you're just going to lose a walker.
There we go.
Some hot Gideon on Gideon action there.
So what Billy did here is he extended the minimum amount in order to get Matthew to burn that Fumigate, which is what he really needed to do to clear the way to be able to play multiple high-impact creatures in one turn. So I think we'll see another Gideon here. Hopefully a creature, maybe this Stasis Snare could really help him out.
Yeah, Stasis Snare's not going to do anything this turn. And no creatures to target with his Deccan Stone.
Right. Yeah, this is one of the advantages of Anguished making as Matthew's removal choice. It can get a Planeswalker or an enchantment, right?
Sure.
So that Stasis Snare is not, guaranteed lockdown from this Sorin.
Yeah, and I don't know what he would even Stasis Snare. Like, Stasis Snaring Gideon being activated is pretty good. But I'm sure Matthew is content to just make lots of guys. I stand corrected. He's getting jiggy with it already.
And Matt's left with 2 lands in hand.
Billy's trying to figure out if he can win through a Sorin ult or not. I'd like to say the answer is no.
You know, you never know.
Yeah. You don't.
We've definitely seen some board positions on this stream that have resulted in not the expected outcomes.
How is Sorin's ult worded? Let's find out.
Alright. Here's pulled up on the screen, so he
Go to
gets
the highest
a
life
number.
total. Okay, so Billy does have the Deccan Stone. So if he can get Sorin to go down, ulting himself, then that's a reasonable thing to do. But the cards that he's going to get, oh my. Billy down at 2.
Do you just play the other Sorin and plus it again?
I don't hate that. So you don't have a win here. You have a path to victory if Billy doesn't have the removal spell, but he does. To just plus Gideon, activate Shambling Vent, and get in there.
I think that's what Matthew's going to try here.
He's setting it up like he wants to just cast the second Sorin.
Yeah.
See if he pluses. He could minus on this Thraben Inspector, which would be a mistake, but that's another path to victory.
It's tempting. I would just plus it. Just try. Plus a sword.
Minusing the Sorin.
Yeah, see, now he's going to get Gideon stasis snared.
Got him. Get those counters off
Those
of
counters don't matter.
Get him out of here.
Back
Get
with
him out of
four.
here.
Coming back with 4. I don't think Matthew's losing this game either way.
No, he's very clearly in the driver's seat. We might get to see what this flip card is, though. Pretty sure it's not a Westvale Abbey.
Okay, not Westvale Abbey.
Modern All-Star Westvale Abbey.
Yeah, modern. It's in those burn lists.
Yeah. Gideon number 3.
All right. Declaration in stone. The ally's going to attack Sorin, I assume.
He's got 2 Shambling Vents. And Billy's at 2, so...
What card did Matt draw? That's the question. Oh, Dovin Bonnie would have just upped it and killed him.
Sure. Oh, man. And now gets the land.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Playing a Dovinbon. I don't like this.
I think he knows he can't win with the... He knows he can't win with the Shambling Vents.
I guess. And the Dovinbon does give him a zombie in a turn.
Right.
Just like this Gideon will. So many walkers.
I think the Oath only triggers once.
Oh, sure.
It triggers if you had a Planeswalker come into play this turn. Miss Lethal and man, we gotta get the Lopi head in there. I don't know how those things are added to the
Not easily.
to the overall macro thing.
Not easily.
No, it takes some doing.
It does.
Okay. I'm not a Twitch expert, not a Twitch expert.
Sure. So I don't know what Matthew is playing around with the not attacking there with both Shambling Vents.
I think Matt likes having a lot of Planeswalkers on the board.
Okay, he just wants to maximize his Planeswalker presence.
Yeah, he's particularly partial to Planeswalkers,
I see.
plussing them.
All right. All right, let's see what he's got here.
You just gotta block it all here, buddy. Yeah, just 1-on-1 and call it even.
Is that even, though? Double block Gideon. That's aggressive. I don't know
It
what...
doesn't do anything. I think Gideon's damage is prevented, right?
Oh, it is.
When he's a dude.
Yeah, I don't know why he would have double blocked there. This game is just like so incredibly over.
Alright. Alright. Billy's gotten to play many, many turns that, so Can we just activate all the shambling vents here? I don't think he has any cards in hand that matter.
He doesn't.
I think they're all lands.
I don't know if Billy does or not.
Yes, there's 3 lands confirmed. Yep. All right.
Plus.
Attack.
So we have 1 creature, potentially a removal spell.
Let's see if it pays off for him. All right. All right. So, the lesson we can take from this game is just shortest path.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
if you
the-
have a soul read on, like, him having some card, then, I mean, it's fine to play around it. I don't know what that card would have been there. If
Okay,
you only
so
have 1 mana open.
all right. So at any point, if Matthew would have taken a path, like the shortest path, like activating shambling vents and attacking in with them or whatever, the potential cards that Billy could have are all 1-for-1s, and when you have multiple planeswalkers on the board, you're gonna get ahead on card advantage quickly.
Sure. And he was already ahead on card advantage.
And so, I mean,
Like I said, I don't know what he was playing around, but it was clear that he was trying to play around something.
is that clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm just confused. I think maybe he missed it.
No, the way he sequenced his lands. So, multiple times he had like 3 lands in hand, and he intentionally played out the shambling vents
Sure.
so that he could attack with them in subsequent turns,
Right.
as opposed to playing other lands, which would have come to play untapped and allowed him to do other things.
Sure.
So I think he was looking for it. I just think he was
Missing it.
playing around something. I don't think he was missing it.
Wouldn't say I'm missing it, Bob.
And listen, he's young.
He is a young man.
So, if he's just, playing it safe, trying to get the safest route in, that's fine.
All right. Do you think he has flaying tendrils in his sideboard?
I don't think so.
That's about the best standard card I could come up with.
Flaying tendrils?
In these colors. As a sideboarding plan here.
Yeah, I think Fumigate's enough.
You just think the package of fumigates, like go from 2 to 4?
I don't even know if you want that many. So he has Gideons, which do a great job of gumming up the board.
Sure.
Tons of spot removal, which is great at dealing with these vehicles. I think he can very naturally just get to the point where he's fumigating.
I think Billy, if he has 1 skyship,
Oh yeah, Skyship's big game for Billy. I think the big thing for Billy is just getting all of the redundant removal out of the deck. It just
Sure.
doesn't do a lot here.
alright, let's see if he has the best play.
I didn't see it. I think we're going to see a Selfless Spirit here. And there it is.
Yep. Still gonna be
Matthew-
attacking, that's fine.
Matthew has a horribly awry in hand. Oh,
Alright, we're gonna get to
I
see
don't
Billy's
agree.
hand here.
I don't agree with these duresses.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be.
Transgresses, I should say. Did I say duresses?
Yeah, you said
Man,
duress.
I miss
It's a
duress.
It's a duress effect.
I miss duress. So bad.
Yeah, so either way, Billy had a 3-drop, and a good one at that. I like PNLR against this deck a lot because it generates 2 threats.
2 bodies. Wouldn't call them threats.
Okay. 2 individual creatures.
So here's the thing with this
They can't-
transgress the
I
mind.
guess they can attack, but that doesn't make them too threatening, does it?
No. if he would have just sat on this horribly awry that is in hand, which I'm not like terribly opposed to,
Right.
then he could have countered the 3-drop and then taken the next 3-drop with his Transgress. But as it is, the sequencing was just off. It does look like he brought in an extra board sweeper in Descend Upon the Fisherman, though.
Oh, Descend Upon the Sinful?
The Fisherman. The Fisherman.
Right. John's alluding to the French translation of the card, which when you translate back to English says the Fisherman. I wish I knew somebody that like knew a lot about French. I bet you that's a biblical thing.
What? What do the French have to do with the Bible?
Well, so Fisherman,
P is down.
Pia down, Clue down.
Oh, you're talking about the similarities in the French for fisherman and the French for sinner?
Yes. Oh, man, that Needle Spires gets fired up.
8. Oh, man, all of a sudden this
8 damage.
Fumigate ain't looking too great.
Yeah, so if he taps out for Fumigate, he gets Needle Spires.
Not to mention Selfless Spirited.
Right.
He really needs to cast 2 spells this turn. He doesn't even have...
I guess you could Dovin Bond.
Dovin Bond doesn't get you there. But you don't have any other plays.
Huh. Did Billy just...
You can Dovin Bond plus on Selfless Spirit, get a zombie to block the Needle Spires.
Neat. Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, this is interesting. Dovin Bond shuts off activated abilities. So if Billy swings in for 2 at Matthew, then he can plus Dovin Bond again on Selfless Spirit and then Fumigate.
Well, Billy would have to see the line and sack the Selfless Spirit in response. He's got another one in hand, though. I'm willing to bet that Billy's not going to put him to 1. He's going to put him to 2 with just the Thopter. And he's going to put another Selfless Spirit into play. Nope.
All right. Matthew down to 1.
Let's see what happens here. So under Billy's...
So he needs the land. He's got the land.
Alright, let's see if Billy's gets the read on... Nope.
So the Fumigate wouldn't even kill him. Wouldn't even save Matthew because he's still got this Needle Spires and he's at 1. So he would only gain the 2. However,
Well, he would gain 2, and then you activate Dovin Bond to gain 2 more. Draw a card.
sure, but the idea is like you had to plus Dovin Bond to shut off the Selfless Spirit. He could have
Right.
played Ob Nixilis out of hand. Minus to kill the Selfless Spirit.
Okay.
Plus to shut off one of the attackers. Got another zombie to block the Needle Spires.
Okay.
And it would have set him up for a next turn Fumigate.
Sure.
But it would have bought him
So
another turn. I mean, he was at 1, so it was very difficult for him to come back from that position, but would have been a little bit better.
Right.
But now Matthew's back on the play.
Yep.
He'll get to start out not on the back foot. He'll have a little more time to develop his board. I don't see him sideboarding, so I don't think he realized how bad his Transgress the Mind was there.
Yeah, I think he... a little confirmation bias there. He got to go 1 for 1 with a card. And, you
So
know...
you're usually going to get to go 1 for 1 with a card
You know
on
what?
a Transgress the Mind.
You know what card I would love to see in Matthew's deck? Prophetic Prism. I think it would smooth out a lot of his draws. For a lot of the time there, he had that.
All right, so
horribly
Matthew
wrong-
drawing and opening 7. Let's see if he keeps this one. Down to 6. I don't think Prophetic Prism would have drawn him out of that one. What do you think?
Looks like Billy's happy with 7.
A little bit of awkward silence for you.
I find that sometimes, just occasionally in a broadcast, silence is just the best. It says more than any word.
Fidelocius is saying that it would not have bought him a turn because he had the 2 guys, but in this case he could have killed one of the guys with Ob and then minus to draw a card, gain 2 life, and would have been back down to 1.
Now this hand is a hand that Matthew's interested in having. I see a Flaying Tendrils.
Is that a Prophetic Prism in his hand?
We're going to find out. Oh, nope.
Nope, no, it was a Prairie Stream.
All right. Listen, you can just disagree with me.
I do.
All right.
Vehemently.
Well, fantastic. Subjects quashed.
And we have a Copter on turn 2 from Billy.
He's gonna smuggle him around. The old
Matthew without an instant
Smuggler
speed removal spell.
So what he's doing here is he's setting up great turns following this, because he's going to have Gideon coming up. Oh man, this is one of my favorite interactions. Motorist, you get to scry, and then
Scry and then Crew. Yeah, I don't want 2 lands, but 1's not bad.
Crew, you get to draw one of the
Oh
cards
my.
you scried.
He's got the Bushwhacker.
Man, these bushes never stood a chance.
They about to get whacked.
Trigger, yes please, thank you. Does it give all your creatures haste too?
Billy's saying he messed up that Scry. He wanted runner land so he could play Pia and then the Surge on the Bushwhacker.
Sure. And that does give the other guys haste, right?
Yes.
Right.
+1/+0. And haste. And it's a 2/1 haste.
Man, we're gonna have multiple Gideon turns here.
Gideon, make a guy.
Yeah, that's really good. And then if he emblems Gideon 0.
I don't think Gideon's going to survive to an emblem.
No? That's fine.
Dipala. That's a strong one. Answers with a Gideon of his own.
See, I think if he Gideons and emblems here, it sets up the biggest flaying tendrils I've ever seen in my life.
Does he have one in hand still?
Yes.
Oh, but he also has this Ruinous Path. That's got to be tempting. Let's see what he chooses to do here. I do like growing your guys out of Flaying Tendrils range, but I don't think he's that attached to these tokens. But with the Copter on the board, you know it's just going to die.
Right. Let's see what he does. There we go.
There it is. Setting up the emblem. We've got some 3/3s.
Yeah, I think your life total can sustain a hit here. Alright, that Gideon goes down to 1. Sure.
Another
yeah, see, this is an area where Matthew's managed his life total a little bit, so that he can I mean, if Billy really goes all in here, he could take
Drew the land.
a lot. That's intense. This could end poorly.
This could end poorly.
So you play. Oh man. So you play PNLR. Use the Thopter to crew the Smuggler's Copter. Turn on your Gideon and then surge your Bushwhacker. I think is how you get the maximum damage there. P is for 3. The Motorist becomes 4. The Smuggler's Copter becomes 4.
I think you really want to
Gideon
create an
becomes 6.
emblem with the Gideon. Or not an emblem, a token with the Gideon here. So, like, this turn you can deal a lot of damage, but you want to set yourself up to have, like, a good next turn as well. And this Gideon's just going to die. Little does he know that everything's going to die because of this Flaying Tendrils next turn.
I wish I was Chris Collinsworth. That guy is so tall.
I'm not going to comment on Chris Collinsworth. Just not going to do it.
Are you not a Collinsworth fan?
No, God, no. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? DePala. DePala's really strong here. Maybe he has the soul read on this Flaying Tendrils.
It doesn't get any of the dwarves out of the range here. I mean, DePala obviously lives.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we missed the trigger on the DePala tapping. But that's okay. I think this Toolcraft or the 3-man Inspector, one or the other is going to hit the bin here. Okay, we've chosen the Inspector.
I think that's the right call.
Alright, so Matthew's at 12. He's going to fire out this Flaying Tendrils unless Billy sees it. I just don't see how...
So Matthew down to 12.
This
we're
Flaying
gonna have
Tendrils is going to be a big game here.
Flaying Tendrils swinging for 9.
-3.
Sure. Sorry, 3.
So he's going to get to kill the Gideon, deal 2 to Billy Comminos. Is Flaying Tendrils an instant?
No, it's definitely a sorcery.
Alright, so
Maybe he's getting greedy.
Didn't care to win the game. That's cool.
I don't know that it wins him the game.
It certainly goes a long way.
So
right.
Billy would be able to attack him down to 3 on the swing back with an active Smuggler's Copter and a Thopter.
Interesting. So Billy has another Smuggler's Copter in hand,
which
could get bigger than the... Okay.
Swing and a miss. All right, so Billy's going to be able to get in for 4 again here.
You can get in for 5 if he wanted to. The veteran motorist can recrew the copter.
Oh, he doesn't have double black for the Flaying Tendrils, as was pointed out by the
chat.
the illustrious M. Diddy.
Oh man. Oh, those are islands under there. It's tough to see that one. Sorry about that, guys. I guess we were wrong. Sometimes you're wrong. Yep. Interesting. So he's blocking to trade off these guys Which doesn't make sense.
I mean, he's got to live. Can I live?
I just want to live.
So both of those, like Gideon, obviously you have to jump in front of. Both of those 4-powered dwarves
Right.
are going to take you down to 4, and he's still going to have a Dapala and a Copter after you fire off this Flying Tendrils this turn.
Yeah, I guess you can reload now that you have a Gideon in hand.
I don't think this is winnable anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's just too many turns without access to that double black.
Prophetic Prism would have been an amazing 2-drop here.
Prophetic Prism would have been so good. He just played the Shambling Vents last turn, but he didn't have access to it on that turn, which was the operative turn.
Correct.
So here you're going to take another 4 minimum.
Right. Maybe
Um,
more.
I mean, we know that Billy just has lethal here if he wants it. But I don't know if he has to risk going for it here. Like,
No,
you can just swing in for 4 and loot.
I mean, I suppose he has to worry about a Fumigate, which puts Matthew back in the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
But I mean, at any point he can just play Pia and this Bushwhacker. And that on its own, not even including the Thopter, represents 7 damage.
sure.
So just an attack here with the Copter is a very big deal. Very hard to come back from.
So he's going to discard the Needle Spires here. Interesting. Yeah, so one guy stands in front of Gideon. Alright, Thraben Inspector.
Draws a Declaration in Stone. Not great here.
Well, I mean, I think you gotta flay the tendrils now. Declaration in Stone the Dapala, make him reload.
Yeah.
If you flaying tendrils, you can up your Gideon to kill his Gideon. Declaration in Stone the Dapala.
But then you're just still dead to any creature, and you know he's got multiple motors in hand.
Sure. Yeah, that's the game.
Yeah, he had a turn where this Flying Tendrils would have been basically game,
But,
but it was a turn too late.
yeah, he doesn't have any fixing like Prophetic Prism, so...
Yeah, Prophetic Prism would have really been really good here.
Really would have iced the cake.
Just the best. Oh, don't forget my emblem, bro. Yeah, he's even got the Needle Spires on board, so he doesn't even need to cast another creature.
Yeah, he does, because he can block with the Zambi.
Yeah, but he can crew the Copter with the Spires.
Sure. Yeah, I hope Billy just goes nuts here. Just unload the board on him, Billy.
Just motorist, Bushwhacker.
Motorist, Bushwhacker.
Going for the minimum. There it is.
All right. That was an interesting one. So we got 5 minutes. We're